Hey everyone, your eyes are not deceiving you. Things have improved around here at Incline Decline Gaming. Um, Decided to go back to futzing around with OBS. Um, in order to, I couldn't think of a better way to capture my iPad screen than to do it through OBS. And then I thought, while I'm going for broke, why not add the dice camera and keep our overhead shot just in case anyone I don't know. I think it's kind of cool to be able to look at my desk while I'm playing. Um, but yeah, this is all courtesy of a new computer. My last one struggled with running OBS and also GMing stuff while I was at it. Um, and in other news, in celebration of my birthday, I decided to treat myself to leveling Stilton up. So I went ahead and went from level 2 to 3 just because. Candidly, I'm also kind of struggling with how hard it is here. And I thought leveling up would um, add some longevity to Stilton's foray into the Wyrd and Wyld. Right off the bat, I see I gotta. And anyway, so at level 3, you get a talent roll, and I rolled a 9 on the Ranger class table, which ends up being +2 to stats, and I picked Dexterity just because it seemed to give the most benefit around the board. Especially, like his armor class goes up a little bit more by like 1 point. By getting like +1 to his Dex mod, another +1 to his Dex mod. I just improved a lot of stuff. His AC, like I mentioned, some of his attack rolls. I've been doing a lot of dexterity checks lately, it feels like. Yeah, and then I rolled really good on his hit points. I rolled a 6, so I'm up to 19 hit points at level 3. Yeah. And this morning we're drinking some green tea just to shake things up a little bit. I like green tea with lemon, and I like to add a little bit of honey. I actually think I'm usually a coffee drinker, but I feel like it's not the caffeine content, but it's when you change like the type of caffeine you're drinking, it has a pretty dramatic effect. I guess long story short, I'm saying tea gets me pretty riled up, gets me pretty wild. Speaking of the wild, let's get into the Wyrd and Wyld. Where last we left off, Stilton had been sort of escorted to this butte, which turned out to be like a site where ghostly cultists of Zenon worship Zenon. A good view of the sky and all that stuff. And Zenon presented, through the cultist, presented Stilton with an opportunity to make an appeasement on his curse. And doing so by answering like the call of a challenge. The challenge ended up being dueling with. Why is this happening? I want object eraser. Whatever. I'm trying to save my drawing. You know what? Let's keep the grappling hook. That's fine. The parameters of the challenge ended up being like stick around and let the mercenary camp find you here at the butte and challenge one of them to one-on-one combat. Turned out to be a scout astride like a giant crocodile. not like a dire crocodile, but just a big crocodile. And that went about as well as damn near anything in the wild has gone. And Stilton ended up saving Faustus by leaping over the cliff edge with his grappling hook. And they ran away, getting lost in the wild. which is something. This is like the third time I've done Weird and Wild through various, like tables and stuff like that, and I've never had a group get wild before, or get lost before. But here we are. They ended up at a new location that wasn't on the map before, and this turned out to be like the site of a long lost hunting cabin, which is not the first time we've seen. It seems to be like a common thread here is the Wheel of Fool's Gold. Is that what we're at? Yeah, the Wheel of Fool's Gold is sort of pockmarked by old signs of hunting. In the hut's cabin's root cellar, we found some food and drink, and also because I rolled really well on the morning hunting table, the boon that we had sort of in our back pockets was finding a healing spring. So Stilton and Faustus found that the basement had like a little wellspring inside of it. Long story short, sort of a strangely beneficial turn of events, getting lost. Who knew? But now, as we set the scene, it's the following morning, and Stilton and Faustus are sort of awakening. You know what? I'm going to pause here because I got a special meeple for Stilton now. I'm going to start using. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see. Can we get this guy on camera? Look at how ranger-like. Ooh, is it focusing? Whoop. Got it. Man, he is one cool-looking ranger. Although they might be a little big for the other meeples. That's okay. It's worth it for style points. Here's our Faustus. I don't know if I'll keep using this big meeple for Stilton. Okay. Setting the scene. Stilton and Faustus are awakening the following day in a what remains of this burnt out hut, in an area no bigger than maybe like a small yard. And there's little remains of like a cooking fire pit in the middle of this hut, but nevertheless Stilton had sort of like scrounged scrap wood from the area and burnt the fire through the night, deciding to risk it, to see if to risk maybe being found by someone. So right off the bat, let's go to our oracle and see, did the overnight fire attract any attention? I'm going to roll with advantage because Stilton is a ranger and I think would know how to avoid that. So I'll just take it can either do a twist. Let's roll on the prompts to see if the twist is something that I like. Otherwise, I'll just take the straight no. 73. I'm looking for like friendship, perseverance, assist. Okay. Assist risk. Interesting. I'm going to take the twist and I'm going to say, would it be like too contrite for like there to be, when Stilton wakes up, the first thing that comes to my mind is like a parchment is left on like the sagging table over to the side of this camping hut. And inside the parchment is a map of the area, or at least a map of like the next two landmarks. You know, like someone has like written, like drawn, crudely drawn, like landmarks to go around in order to find these two areas. So somebody, we don't know who. I think I'm going to start writing down, like, let's make a little note here. Story threads. First one, mysterious stranger. Someone has left Stilton and Faustus with the means to get to either of these locations without too much hardship. So let's do our morning routine then. We're going to roll to see if the company of St. Theodore is going to close in. I need a D8. No. Oh, with disadvantage. Yes, they start closing in. We're down to a D6. St. Theodore draws closer. Okay. And then we're going to make our daily hunting roll to find the hiding space for the Cyclopean mechanism. We roll 2d6 and take the better. So Stilton is, despite all appearances, a skilled ranger. We get a mark. I feel like something should happen at the 5 marks. What just happened? Okay. So we're going to make progress here. All right, so now exploring. What sort of paths lead out of here? Let's roll D8 twice. A 5 is a difficult trail. I want the screen. Difficult trail leads out of here. And out of this side, let's move this out of the way. It's a 3, which is a footpath. And our map tells us what to expect, our mysterious map. So I think it's a D100 on both these tables. So I'm going to roll D100 to figure out what's waiting for Stilton at either location, because he knows by virtue of the map. 85. Suit Craig. I'm just reading the names of the locations. The map would not have many details. And 37. The Great Honeycomb. Interesting. Stilton collects his belongings, Faustus at his side, and we head out to this trail, which is a D50, my least favorite. 12. Trail 12. The way out of the abandoned hut. Okay. An eroded and flooded path. So basically like a dry creek bed. Sort of eroded into the into the ground. That's our first. Well, waits for us here. 37. Let's go back to it. Should have used. I need like a million bookmarks. Okay, an immense sound like 1,000 snare drums in unison drones and echoes from a massive fissure in the side of a hill. Bees the size of cats flow in and out of this cavern, some laden in pounds of sticky pollen. Inside this cave is a hive of immense proportions, crawling with an army of workers, drones, and larvae. Those willing are able to brave the guards and queens of this hive, find glistening combs laden with its honey. Royal jelly. Magical properties. Okay. So Stilton and Faustus come across this. I'm reticent to get rid of this drawing, but we got to do it. Their pathway on the creek bed is interrupted when they come across this large hill. And inside the large hill is a fissure. And it's swarming with bees. Bees! This area is also not very large at all, so it's kind of crowded here. The hills sort of come in on both sides. I wonder how you actually draw hills. But the idea is they're sort of embanked on either side, but this hill is sort of cut open by this large fissure, and it is just swarming with cat-sized bees that are flying about. What's their initial reaction to Faustus and Stilton? I'm going to open up freeform on my computer screen too, so I don't have to keep scrolling around. I want to look at my little cheat sheet at the top to do a reaction roll, 2d6. They're curious about Faustus and Stilton. They're sort of buzzing around our heroes. I hate the sound of these dice on plastic. Let's get it all over with now. And Stilton, having never seen bees this large before, has nevertheless seen bees before. He knows what bees are about. And he reaches into his ranger gear to pull forth herbal remedy. 10, with advantage. 20. Cool. Yeah, he happens to have like a bouquet of herbal flowers. Would that be the term? Exactly the kind that he knows would make ordinary bees very happy. Although he is a little surprised to see a bee the size of a cat come in and sort of curiously peck and play at these flowers, to which Stilton happily hands them over. And using that, he's able to come in to the hive. I think he's entitled to some honeycomb. I'm gonna scroll around to see. There are like magic items and artifacts here in the Wyrd and the Wyld, and I'm wondering. I'm just gonna scroll through the PDF. I think that'll be faster to see if there's anything that's obviously honey themed. Let's just do a search. Honey bolt. There's a spell. The Great Honeycomb. Oh, that's where we are. Well, there's a lot of hits for honey. Oh, I'm just going through page. All right, honey bolt. All right, there's a level 1 spell called Honey Bolt. You fire off a volleyball-sized glob of sticky and sweet honey with enough force to knock a person off their feet. When the honey bolt hits the target, they are knocked prone and engulfed in sugary gel. Creatures engulfed in honey are slowed. Ooh, okay. That's really all that pops up when searching for honey. Let me try looking at one more thing. I don't really want to give up on this train of thought. You know what? I'm just gonna add to Stilton's inventory. He's got some delicious honeycomb. Maybe he'll eat it. Maybe he'll use it. Don't know. And we continue on our way. Not every encounter has to be a disaster. Stilton. And this brings us to, to this location, 37. And then we go to here, which is another. I feel like I just fly all over this map. Okay, so kind of back to where we started in area 5, which is the scrawl, that area with that ugly stone. And now Stilton knows by the map that had been mysteriously left to him. Just gonna make a note here. This was area 9. And this is technically 10 again. I'm not going to write it down. But because of the note Stilton has, he knows he can't go back this way. Oh, cool. It shows up on the screen. He can't go back this way. That's not progressing. So now he has to do the dangerous trail, which we said was trail number 49. My trails are over here. A line of robed monks silently point the direction of travel. Oh, okay, so the monks are back. And this time they frame either side of the trail, pointing west or east. Pointing in that direction, and Stilton and Faustus have to sort of walk between their ranks. And as he goes, as they go, they curse at him in a language he's never heard before. It's probably the language of wherever Zenon originates from, right? but Stilton certainly has never heard of it. And we're gonna check. I'm gonna roll to resist like the mental barrage. I think this is a intelligence check to see if we kind of come out of the other end of this trail. Yeah. Head held high. It's the shame sort of sort of treatment. Oops. And we end up at location number 10, which we've never been to before. So we had to roll D100 to see what comes out the other end of this double line of cursing monks. 74. Excuse me. We've already done. I thought that was a familiar roll. So we will go high or low, depending. Go high. So 75. Oh boy, this will be an interesting one. I'm going to pause to read it myself. Okay. Let's roll on types of woods. 30, like 33 or something. Short gray trees with fleshy trunks. Okay. So in a tight grove, where these stunted gray trees grow so closely together, Stilton almost has to like put like his foot like through like between. I'll draw it again. Between like one tree will be growing like this, and the other one will be growing like right next to it. So you have to like push your foot through it, and like go sideways between the trees. So tight. Happen across this very small area. So surrounded by all these trees. Stilton sort of shunts his way through. Faustus, leaps between the trees to get through, and there on the other side of this very small area, bathed in iridescent and golden light, sits nothing else but a small quail. Not small, a large quail, about the size of actually Faustus over here. And clearly Stilton has sort of like stumbled into the nesting ground of this strange bird. Oh, interesting. So on this camera you can see the tokens, but on on the iPad you don't. Oh boy, okay. We might have to work around that too. But at any rate, let's see. Can we do something about that right now before I? What if I did this? And made the iPad capture. Yeah, there we go. So I think ostensibly we're still looking at what I'm doodling and stuff here, right? So maybe this is a little bit better. I don't know. If anyone is actually following along, let me know what's better. Do you want big desk view or big iPad view. I don't know. We'll anyway. And there's sort of this like moment where the quail is sort of like taken by surprise that like, oh, somebody is not alone here. In fact, this quail is surrounded by like a small entourage of similar, not quite as glowing or clearly magical birds, but other prize quail. And Stilton, with a Ranger intelligence check, 8, 5, does not immediately understand the full context of what he has discovered here. Neither does Faustus. But he knows opportunity when he sees it, and immediately draws his bow and fires on the bird, thinking this is like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to capture some prize game. Okay, quick stats for a bird. Let's see if we can find something in the Shadowdark core book. Be like chicken stats or something like that, right? Couldn't possibly be that. Horse, lion, moose. Looking for something tiny. I almost think like a stats for a rat would be the way to go, of all options provided here at any rate. You know what though? This is a magic quail. So what if the stats weren't quite? I'm going off the unicorn, man. It's anyway. Stilton fires his bow. The shot goes wide. He misses. Okay. Jesus Christ, Stilton. I just can't catch a break, can he? All right, and the element of surprise is lost. Now we need to roll initiative. Okay, at least we get to go again, and Stilton. This time, Stilton and Faustus sort of rush in, scattering the other birds to get on this thing with his dagger. Plus 4 now because of leveling up. He beats the AC, and I'll just take the 3 points of damage on the quail. And Faustus also jumps into bite. I think he does D6. Yep, and that's another 5, so we're up to 8 out of 20 actually. And the both of them are immediately like shocked at how tough this glowing bird is. The other quail jump in to sort of peck at Faustus and Stilton. So we'll take one of them hits Stilton, doing 2 points of damage. It's highs or lows. So Stilton is sort of with his 19 hit points. He takes 2. Oh, yep. And Faustus. It's probably hit at least once. Yeah, for 1 point of damage out of 4. Gotta do something about that. And does this quail, he tries to get away. Yeah, and the quail leaps between the trees and disappears. And the other birds sort of scatter. leaving Stilton just perplexed. What the hell did we just come across? How could a quail be so strong? That kind of a deal. I've never seen anything like this before. So I'm going to add to story beats over here. Angry quail. Question mark? Got away. Oh boy. Okay, let's count we did 1, 2, 3. So this should be, so we have time for one more before the end of the day. Can Faustus find the hidden trail going this way? Intelligence. Yes. In fact, this trail is nondescript. Trail 0. And this trail is, I'll roll with advantage. Either 8 or 30. Trail 8. The trail is made of partially buried spine of some colossal corpse. Okay. Or a snaking carpet of ants serves as a trail to ignore you. I'll take the Colossus trail. And also, I think with the natural 20 on wayfinding, I should get to roll with advantage on the locations. Okay, so let's go for that number 3 first. The one to the north is either 90 or 96. What could be better? I do believe the locations get, they don't get more dangerous, but okay, either tar pits or vermin fields. Tar pits. No, we'll take the vermin field. That's not as obviously dangerous. And to the south, $25 or $55. Exiles Camp. Oof. It's not going to be that one, I can tell you. Mega Colony Mound. Excuse me. Okay. I'm going to take 55. And we're going to change that trail to the one of crawling insects. Which was 30. Because that tonally makes sense with okay. I'm cutting north. We need a place to hide, and taking the hidden trail up to tar pits sounds like the best place to make a camp at the end of the day. So it'll be, to vermin fields. Here the ground cracks and snaps underfoot. The floor is nothing but animal bones. In the darkened corners of the spot, under root and stone, a multitude of hungry things writhe and gaze out of their hiding spots. Then it literally says, best not to stay here after dark. Well, Stilton, you've got a talent for finding bad places and making bad choices. Here in the vermin fields is where Stilton ultimately decides to rest his weary head like a goofball. Quail. 11 is size 3. 96 Berman Field. Oops, I'm clicking on something with my hand. Berman Field. Okay. Can Stilton and Faustus make sort of like a hidden encampment in this? It's not totally small. It's a space about the size of a house. Can they hide here overnight? I think to answer that question, we got to go to Scroll 4. Camping. There is a keep watch, reduce the danger level of all hexes. Okay, or batten down, treat the weather. Okay, the weather doesn't matter. Keep watch. It's a wisdom check. Ken Stilton. Natural 20. Yep. Verminfield is no problem if you can climb like the one tree here, and Stilton uses his iron spikes to defend the base of the tree. He basically makes the tree like unclimbable below. And he and Faustus spend a grisly night hiding up in the tree, listening to all sorts of foul creatures that they cannot see run below them. And that is where we wrap up the day. So now we're going to go to the nightly camping roll. Surviving the night. Attempt to camp. Roll 3d6. Actually 46 because Stilton being a ranger. And a 4 and a plus is a success. So 2 failures. This actually kind of makes sense. No food, no water. No yes to shelter. Okay. 1 success, bad times. No one said it was going to be this difficult. 1 level of exhaustion for all. I believe the rule is, I'll check. But I believe the rule is you can shore up each failure with a supply. Suffer exhaustion or use supplies. However, a character can cancel out the effects of a failed roll by using a supply for themselves. Okay. Okay. This is going to cost Stilton 2 supplies, which he has. This is a grisly, uncomfortable night hiding in the tree. As vermin in the shadows sort of claw and clatter about below them. That's okay. Let's replenish our watch timers. 1, 2, 3, 4. We carry on. Okay, start of the day. We roll d6 at disadvantage. Now down to a d4. And we roll hunting. D6. Minor setback. Oof, this is getting D10 setback. From bad to worse. 4. Lose the tracks. You make a wrong turn and are lost for D6 days. Oh my gosh. I think what would actually happen here is they are stuck in the tree for 4 days. Okay, so, and how we're going to resolve that is by going to being lost. They are trapped in the tree for, what did I roll, 4 days? Oh my gosh. Each full day spent being lost requires each character to use 3 supplies or suffer the effects of suffering. Survive in the night roll, page 14. Okay. Okay. So what I'm going to do is this is really hard. They're stuck in the tree for 4 days. Each day I'm going to do the surviving the night roll. But because I don't want to roll 46 4 times, you know, I'm just going to roll 46 1 time for each night. So the first 2 nights go by okay. The second 2 nights are a problem. So there goes their second to last supply, or the last supply actually. We're out of supplies, and on the 4th night we are just suffering exhaustion. Oof. Oof, oof, oof. Okay, so exhaustion. Let's roll a d8. Sluggish, speed is halved. Okay. Let's actually just write the number in here. So beleaguered and weary, we climb down from the tree and head down this hidden trail back to the quail refuge. Is the quail still here? This is a question for the oracle. Is the quail still here? 13. Yep. But it's not alone. Okay. Where's my little quail doodle? Quail doodle's over here. Okay. The quail is not alone. There is a figure here with it. Let's roll on the oracle table to get some inspiration. Uh, 72. I rolled the wrong dice, but I'll just go with 72. 72 is contain. $69, nice. Contain exploration. A wizened old figure stands in the tight circle. It's obviously what looks like an accomplished ranger. It's the figure Stilton wishes he could grow up and become, right? It's a wizened, gray-bearded man who is sort of like currently crouched over the quail and applying a salve to the wounds. And as Stilton sort of clumsily barges in, the man, without looking up, says, I have to say I'm rather surprised to see you still trying to make a go of this. I would think that after your third or fourth night here, you would know better, that this is no place for someone so inexperienced. Stilton puts a hand towards his dagger and answers with, I totally agree. I am out of my depth here, but I'm compelled by a higher purpose. I need to hide something before the wrong people can get it, and where better? The gray-bearded man stands up, sort of standing in front of the quail, and says, "You certainly won't find a hiding space for anything if all you do is run from location to location and make enemies out of everything that you meet." You don't even know what you were hunting here before, do you? And he gestures behind him at the quail. Stilton has no answer for that. The man says, chuckles and says, "I thought not." Is this figure here to help Stilton, or is this like the end of our adventure? He is not here to help Stilton. That's for damn Skippy. The man draws his sword and says, "I'll just take that artifact off your hands, young man, and you won't have to worry about it any longer." And he rushes forward at Stilton. And I will use I have to find suitable stats for a veteran ranger. I almost think druid would be kind of cool, but I've already I didn't expect this to happen. Let's see. Beastman? Berserker. Assassin. Assassin might be it. No. Ay. Thief. Yeah, we'll do thief. Thief is close enough, right? It's someone wearing leather. He's got a dagger, or he's got a short sword, rather. Stilton, however, is ready for him as he rushes forward, and meets him halfway with his own dagger drawn, and attacks at him. Misses. Oh my lord. Faustus, however, is quick to defend his bestie and also misses. All right. Oh shit. Let's get those back on there. The ranger attacks Stilton and misses. Awesome. Okay. Initiative again. Awesome. We got the initiative. All right. Stilton. It's the D4. That's a hit. Doing 4, 5. It's a lot of damage. Let's take a look at Stilton's sheet. 6 points of damage to the ranger, who has 13. And Faustus with the D6 misses. The ranger sort of loops around behind Stilton faster than what he would have expected, and as he goes, he pops like a pressed capsule of herbs into his mouth and gets his full bane off. It's his advantage to attack Stilton for the next 4 rounds. Let me grab another. I'm gonna sneeze. Bless me. Okay. He attacks Stilton. 19 is a hit for 2 points of damage. I'm gonna sneeze again. Excuse me. Oh, and damage. Ooh, 6 points of damage to Stilton. The quail books it again. Stilton whirls around and, well, we'll see. We'll roll an initiative. Yep, he's got it. He's going to whirl around on this guy and attack him back. And deals another 3 points of damage. So we're up to 9 out of 13. Faustus could end it here. I'll take it. 14, 4 points of damage. The old man goes down, chomped by Faustus. But instead of killing him, the dog just sort of like takes him down to the ground. And Stilton, together with Stilton, they like pin him down. And Stilton's like, who, at sword point is like, who are you? Tell me who you are. And the man gives a name, which I'm going to draw real fast here. Let's roll a couple d20s. 13 and 8. Nellen. Where's my thread lines? Mysterious stranger, Nellen. Nelon. My name is Nellen, and I've been following you. I've been following you since you left the city. Why do you think the company has been able to close in on you, Stilton? We've already seen how this whole thing... Dulpus has already seen how this all plays out, you fool. And that's when Stilton pushes back the man's head or hood and reveals his face and sees he sees himself aged by decades. And confusion overtakes him. So instead of putting him down by the sword, Stilton just sort of clubs him with the handle of his dagger, knocking him out. And swiftly shakes him down for whatever gear he's got. He's got at least D6 supply on him, right? 4 supply. Awesome. So he grabs his belongings, but something compels him not to do more than that because the resemblance was just uncanny, right? Oops. And we are sort of hereby reminded that Adulpus is a time wizard, right? But how did he compel Stilton's future, older self into servitude? It doesn't make sense, right? Without having time to give it any more thought than that, Stilton carries on Trail 30, which this is the trail of you step over the ring of trees and find a carpet of moving ants that you can't help but walk on. And the trail leads straight into Area 55. Let me find it. The trees are stripped of bark around this enormous mound of loam and clay. The ground is crawling with a multitude of miniature life, crawling black insects that form a network of trails in and out of the mound. Does Stilton, with his ranger sense, he never really studied entomology, and he's a little too shaken by what he's encountered. So he skips this and carries on to the next trail. Uh, 12. Which is a 3. Rough, pale cobblestones. But as Stilton and Faustus walk along these cobblestones, they're revealed to be skulls. And they move on to the next hex. 1310. Where's my world map? So let's erase this. We're now here. Okay, and I think I'm going to wrap up this session. We have one left. Just mapping out whatever this thing is. So let's first clear this all out. And then I'm going to try to... I got to unlock all these. I'm just going to scoot these out of the way. Yep. Oof, that's leggy. but we will duplicate all these. I'm going to do it again. Okay. Right. Yeah. Okay, let's lock these. Okay, let's go through dungeon generation. Okay, first thing we do is determine the amount of areas with a roll of a d8. 8 areas. Okay, so I'll need 8d6 to roll on here. Spread them out a little bit. Okay, and I'm going to turn each d6 into a diamond. I think we need a darker green. Okay, so there's one here. It's a triangle, yo. I don't know what that is. There we go. Right. I feel like I've already screwed up with the... Six, seven, eight. Okay. I'm sure I screwed up some of these numbers. I'm trying to do this in a hurry. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, well, I ended up with 8 places, so that's fine. And now we have to do the amount of trails, if I'm not mistaken. D6 plus 1 for the number of trails. Five trails. Okay, let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the other places are connected by hidden trails. Let's do, that looks fun. I think I got everything. Before I forget, let's do pixel eraser. This trail is hidden. Okay, now the types of trails are all D8 rolls. Okay, let's do this trail. Oops, let's connect our entrance to, and that's a 3. 3 is a footpath. Okay, let's do, that's a footpath. 6, this is difficult. Footpath. Ooh, a lot of footpaths this one. That's good. 4, I believe, is difficult. Yep. Good thing I checked after I rolled. And 1 is a footpath. Wow, not too bad. Okay. Where's my here? Let's grab this. Oops. Oh, bigger's fine. Look. I feel like I'm starting to get into a really good rhythm here. Look. We are starting off here. Kind of feel like we're running away from 1309. We're going to pick it up next time. Heading here. So we have to find out what trail this is. Very good. Okay. Thanks for watching, everybody. It doesn't feel like it's getting any easier being in here. I'm interested to know what you guys think of this whole setup. Again, do you like having the main view of the iPad, or do you like the screen being the main view? I don't know. I think I kind of like it like this the most. I really like having this dice camera. I think it's just a cute touch. But yeah, again, thanks for watching, and have a good weekend, everybody.